Hello, readers of Every Word, and welcome to Every Word 365. I'm your host, Christina Munoz-Madsen, and today we're reading 1 Corinthians 11 through 14. In chapter 10 of the book of 1 Corinthians, Paul uses the story of the Israelites wandering in the wilderness to illustrate to the Corinth believers the folly of the misuse of freedom and the danger of overconfidence. Paul has just warned the Corinthians about their lack of self-discipline. He goes on to describe the Israelites who, despite seeing God's miracles and care for them, the parting of the Red Sea, the miraculous provision of manna from heaven and water from a rock, they misused their freedom, rebelled against God, and fell into immorality and idolatry. Paul exhorts the Corinthian church to note the example of the Israelites and avoid lusts and sexual immorality and putting Christ to the test and complaining. And that, of course, is from gotquestions.org on the connections section on 1 Corinthians. As for today's reading, chapter 11 gets into another controversial topic about head coverings, which is why I'm going to share what gotquestions.org says about it. I actually know of one woman that wears a cover on her head when she worships at church, but that is because of how she was convicted by this verse. Remember, the Lord speaks to each one of us differently, and different things will jump out to different people. But the doctrine of faith that we believe is definitely universal. And I have a link from Got Questions on head coverings. Please take some time to read through chapter 12, which is all about the spiritual gifts we've been given by God. And if you don't know what your gifts are and haven't taken the quiz yet, now is the perfect time. It can help you figure it all out. So I'm including a link again to the spiritual gifts test, the adult version. You do have to register, but it is free. And then there's arguably the most popular part of 1 Corinthians. You have probably heard it at a few weddings. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable, and it keeps no record of being wronged. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up, never loses faith, and is always hopeful and endures through every circumstance. That's 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7, and that translation may be a little different than the one you know. But again, it's very well known and used at a lot of weddings. Speaking in tongues is another controversial topic. So I'm going to share this link on it from Got Questions in case you're interested in learning more. I find it all very fascinating. Tomorrow is a day off or a day to catch up. Then it'll be 1 Corinthians 15 through 16. We're so close to the end. Don't give up now. And remember, if you have some paper clips, those days off are a great time to maybe catch up on a page or a chapter or whatever you want to go back to so that you can read every word in 365 days. And if you don't, we'll be starting all over January 1, and you can read the parts that you missed or just read the whole thing all over again in 2024. Happy reading.